How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to talk about severance and how some employers might seemingly employ some of these tricks to try to get you to leave so that they don't have to pay you any severance at all. I'm covering this point because when I was working as an engineer, I just wanted to do engineering work. I didn't want to deal anything with politics, and I certainly didn't think people were going to manipulate me in order to sort of force me to quit. I never thought about that, but I haven't been in corporate for like 7 years or so now. I just wanted to make this video just in case you're in a similar situation that you won't get played by your employers or your boss. So you really know what they're trying to do to you. So you can play a game of chess, I guess. You know, there's a lot of behind the scenes things that are going on. The most important thing is to know what they're doing, then it's okay to proceed. This video is brought to you by Vesti's waterproof shoes and outerwear. While you're traveling, sometimes it does rain, and even if you have an umbrella, if you don't have waterproof shoes, eventually your socks get wet, your feet get wet, and it starts hurting. I think getting waterproof shoes is a game changer because it makes traveling that much more comfortable. How waterproof? I sprayed water on it, it beads up, it falls right off. I even submerged it in water and everything stays dry inside. Check out Vesti's waterproof jacket. This one is called the Westerly Coach Jacket. It's covered with their Dymatex waterproof technology. With this, even if it rains while you travel, you won't get wet. It doesn't even look like it's waterproof, but it is. Look at this guy. He's so cool with this jacket on. Now I'm doing some kind of runway thing. I would describe this jacket as a stylish minimalist look. The last pair of waterproof shoes I have are not actually shoes, they're actually boots. So I think if you're not gonna go hiking everywhere, these waterproof sneakers and street shoes makes it a lot more indoor friendly. If you guys are interested in Vesti's waterproof shoes or outerwear, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. I came across this article. Amazon's Andy Jassy denies its 5-day-a-week return to office plan is a secret way to reduce headcount. There is this return to office mentality across the entire Silicon Valley. So everybody wants to do it, and then this becomes sort of like an excuse. Some people are not gonna like it, and some people are definitely going to quit. They overhired. There's gonna be some people that are really high performing that are let go, and there are gonna be people that are lesser performing. You can just read between the lines here. By the actions, you can kind of guess this might or may not be true, but you cannot prove it. You know, maybe he's thinking about it in his head and it was never verbalized, so you know that's what it is. You can only guess that it's true. Anyhow, Andy Jassy became CEO of Amazon starting around July 2021. So you look at their stock chart here. I personally own Amazon for about 2 or 3 years or so now, and frankly I've been super disappointed with their stock performance. It's been just trading sideways, and I've owned a significant amount of it for a few years. Maybe it's because they don't have the visionary anymore at the helm. You no longer have Jeff Bezos as the CEO anymore. He's no longer driving things forward, making the company huge amounts of money and increasing the stock value by multiple folds year after year. And you've seen this until he actually left. That's just my own feeling here. And because of that, I sold all of my holdings in Amazon stock. Yes, it did go up a little bit since I sold it, but is it gonna keep on going up at the same rate as before? I feel like it won't, because you don't have the visionary there anymore. They're really big. It's really hard to move such a big corporation and multiply its income further from at this point unless you have a visionary at the helm. Enough about Amazon. Severance is a huge cost for companies. They rather not pay it. You don't always get severance. This is more like a Silicon Valley thing. If you're an engineer, somehow they pay these things. Just as a culture, you know, this is what companies typically do. And if they don't do it, then they're gonna say, hey, you know, this company, they don't care about their employees. Even when they lay them off, you know, why should new employees work for them? So they're paying severance just to, you know, make it look good on the outside. Of course, they don't want to, but it's something to sort of keep up their image. So they want to pay this, but if they don't have to, of course, they prefer to save the money. When you get the severance, usually they ask you to sign something, you know, to keep all their secrets, to do whatever they want you to do, basically, you know, like not go work for a competitor right afterwards, or you know, all bunch of different criteria depending on what they want. I've received severance one time in my life which is basically because they closed down the entire division. It was weird that they even hired me to work there, I think for only like 3 months or so. And then when they laid me off, they actually gave me about 6 months of severance on top of that right after. So I only worked for 3 months, and then, they give me a whole bunch of money. I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that. That's like my first taste of sort of early retirement, right? Although I was very, very nervous at the time because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a mortgage. I need to find a new job. And I've been looking for months and months, and then I still can't find a new job. So the typical way these things work is if you work there and they lay you off, they'll give you something standard like 2 to 4 weeks of severance pay just as a base. And every single year that you've worked at that company, they'll give you maybe something like 2 weeks additional. So I had a coworker that worked at that place for like 20 some years or so. So you do the math, 1 month plus another 10 months of pay. So he was getting nearly 1 year worth of salary of severance. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So he's gonna go back to India for a couple of months before he come back to look for a new job. So I was like envious, I'd say, because 11 months of salary just in one lump sum, that's a lot of money. Sometimes they kind of want you to quit on your own. So how do they do this? Just saying that, you can probably envision the ways they would try to do it. Force you to return to work, 5 days a week, make you do things that you don't want to. Maybe they can be kind of annoying, micromanage you on purpose when performance review comes around. Even if you did very, very well and everybody thinks so, maybe they might want to give you a slightly lower performance review just to get you a little bit angry. Once you do that, the clock starts ticking. You're probably going to be very disgruntled with work. You're going to start looking for a new job. Once you find a new job, you quit. Once you submit your resignation letter, if you put it in writing or even if you do it verbally, you're not going to get your severance. You're not going to get your unemployment, which is some good amount of money there. Right now in California, it's around $900 every 2 weeks, depending on how much you earned before. That's enough to live on. They might try to force you out with different things, maybe put you in a team that you hate on purpose. They might ask you to do tasks that are irrelevant, or maybe things that it's not very useful, right? It's just kind of burning up your time. Nobody wants to waste their life doing things, It's like, hey, go count the pieces of rice or something. That's exaggerating, right? But it's something like that. You're like, go do this with the Excel files and, go and sort them or something. Do some BS stuff. But if you were used to doing productive work that actually does something, and then suddenly you get assigned to do something that's just no use whatsoever, just BS stuff, you're going to get disgruntled and you're going to start looking for a new job. That is what they want, which is to not pay you severance, and you also don't get unemployment. So saving the company money. More money for the company, more money they can give out as bonuses to maybe the managers themselves, to the employees they actually like. There are other sneaky ways where they can effectively reduce your total compensation package. In the Silicon Valley, 3% raise is probably very, very standard. If you are a super average worker, yeah, you get 3% raise. It sort of keeps up with inflation. 0% raise is kind of effectively a demotion because there's inflation going on, and your effective spending power from 1 year to the next kind of reduce slightly. So this is not very encouraging for an employee when you get slightly lower pay. I've had 3% raises before, and that's, at a big company, the economy is not doing well, maybe the company is not making as much money. They'll have all kinds of different excuses. Another one is maybe when you first get hired, you get RSUs, restricted stock options, and then when it vests, there's a certain value to them. And personally, I go and keep track of how much value I'm getting. If they don't renew your RSUs, that's a red sign. They might want to try to force you out. Sometimes if there's a private equity, or like another company buys another one, you're gonna switch over all your health insurance. The 401k matching might change a little bit. If you have a high deductible health insurance plan, they might contribute a certain amount, and then when you switch over, they contribute a little bit less. So you have to take all of that into account. So let's say you get a little bit less. People are lazy. They're not gonna go look for a new job because when you get a new job, it's a lot of work to bring yourself up to speed at the new job. It usually takes me 9 months to 12 months or so. Many people are not going to do that. So they're relying on that you're not going to go look for another job somewhere and get a pay raise and tell them, hey, raise my salary or else I'm going to leave. And sometimes if you do that, they'll be like, oh, go ahead. They want to reduce headcount anyway. Go move. They don't have to pay you severance. Win-win for them. So it kind of becomes like a game of chess. What do you want to do? Do you want to just hold on tight, waste your time, and just keep on at it just because you don't want them to manipulate you? But I think overall is to know that that's a possibility, and then you can make a decision based on that. I hope this video is just enlightening in terms of what your employer is trying to do to you depending on their actions. I hope this video was interesting and gives you an edge whenever an event like that happens to you at your job. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more.